once again in our new class. So currently we are learning how elections are conducted in India, right? So chapter 5 is about elections in India. And do you remember what I said in the first class? In this lesson we are going to learn about two things, right? What are they? About the role of Election Commission of India and about the political parties, right? So with our previous class we have completed the role of Election Commission of India, okay? And hereafter we have to learn about the political parties. So but before starting to learn about political parties, today I will give you a brief recap on whatever we have learnt about the role of Election Commission of India, okay? So in today's class we are going to have a small revision and we are going to see what are political parties and what are constituencies, okay? Only a small introduction on political parties. Shall we have the revision first? So first we have learned about the meaning of election, right? So our India is a democratic country. India is a land of democracy. So democracy means what? It has a form of government which is chosen by the people. So in India, we people ourselves by voting we are selecting our own leader, right? So democracy is a state where we can select our own leader, okay? So India is a democracy, so it has a form of government which is chosen by the people. But how we are choosing these leaders? That is by election, okay? But how do we choose? By this election. So at last, what is election? Election is a process by which a person or a group of people are chosen to form government, okay? So what is election? It is a process by which we will select either one person as our leader or a group of people for ruling us to form what? Government. So that is election, okay? Now we know the meaning of election, right? So our India is a democratic country, so we will choose our own leaders. So how we are selecting our leaders? That is by this election. So finally election is the process by which a person or a group of people are chosen to form a government, okay? And now what are the role of the Election Commission of India? Why we are having Election Commission in India and what are their important duties, okay? We have learned this already, I hope you remember, right? So first we have to know what is Election Commission of India and why we need that, right? So see, India is a large country. We know our country India is very big. So India is a large country. So if we need to conduct election in such a big country, we need a lot of planning, right? So even if we have to do a small function in our home, that itself we need at least 1 month of planning. So our India is a very big country and if we need to conduct election in such a big country, then it requires a lot of planning. So we need someone to do all this planning, right? So that is the work of this Election Commission of India, okay? See, India is a large country, so it needs a lot of planning to conduct elections. So who is doing all this planning? So the Election Commission is a body which helps in every phase of election, okay? So the Election Commission is a body which plans how this election is to be conducted, understood? So for what purpose we are having Election Commission in India? So our India is a very big country and we are a democratic country. So we are choosing our leaders by our own. So we need elections. So conducting elections in such a big country is very difficult, right? So it needs a lot of planning. So to plan how these elections are to be conducted, we have this Election Commission of India, right? So now we know why we are having this Election Commission, right? Yes, now let us see what are the duties of this Election Commission. So now we have the Election Commission of India and we should know what are the duties done by them, right? So now let us see what are the duties. See, they decide the date on which elections should be held. First they will decide the date, they will fix the date on which we have to conduct the election, okay? And then it is the responsibility of them to hold elections. So they will conduct the elections and then what is their next work? See, they lay down the rules and regulations to be followed during elections. So they will formulate the rules to be followed followed by the people as well as the election officers to be followed during the elections. Okay, and at last it is the duty of the election commission to announce the result. Okay, so say me, what are the 4 main duties of the election commission of India? First, they have to decide the date of election, and then they have to hold elections. That means they have to conduct elections, and then they have to formulate the rules that should be followed during election, and at last it is the responsibility of them to announce the result also. And so what is their main aim? They should be like, see, it ensures that election in India are fair and impartial. That means this election commission of India should not show any partiality. Okay, they should not be fair to one political party. They should be equal to everyone. Okay, that means they should be impartial. So it is their responsibility to ensure that elections in India are fair and impartial. Okay, so these are the roles or duties of this election commission. Now see, we have one main person, that is Chief Election Commissioner. So who is the Chief Election Commissioner? Now we have a very big body, right? Who is that? Election Commission of India. So whatever group is there, we need a leader, right? So that leader is Chief Election Commissioner. Okay, so who is the Chief Election Commissioner? The Election Commission of India is headed by the Chief Election Commissioner. Okay, so the leader of this Election Commission of India is Chief Election Commissioner. And do you remember who is this person? Yes, he is Sunil Arora. He is currently our Chief Election Commissioner. Okay, so these are some of the duties and some important personnel of this Election Commission of India. Okay. Yes, now next what we have learned, who can vote, who are eligible to vote, and what are the things we have to have in our hands before voting, right? So who can vote? See, Election Commission issues a list with the names of all people who can vote. So prior to the election, our Election Commission will issue a list with the names of all the persons who are eligible to vote. Okay, so who can vote? Adults who are 18 years of age and above can vote. Okay, so if you are with 18 years and above that, then you are eligible to vote. Okay, so adults who are 18 years of age and above can vote. And then what we have learned, so when we are 18 years of age, then we have to apply for a voter ID card. Okay, so we know, right, what is a voter ID? See, people who can vote are issued a voter ID card. So what it contains? It contains information about his or her name, date of birth and photograph. So this voter ID will have the person's name, their photograph and their date of birth. These 3 are the main important things to be presented in a voter ID. Okay, we should know their name, then their photograph, then and why date of birth is important? Because only the persons who are 18 years of age and above can vote. So they have to check whether you are eligible or not, right? So for that, date of birth is also important. Okay, so this is a model voter ID we have seen in our previous class also. And then what happens on the day of election? On the day of election, the voter has to carry this card and show it at the polling booth where the votes are given. So while we are going to election in the polling booth, then what we have to do? We have to carry this voter ID also with us. Okay, we have to show this voter ID to the officers in the polling booth. Okay, polling booth means the place where we will cast our vote. Okay. And then see how voting is done. Voting is done by secret ballot. That is, nobody knows who a person has voted for. So voting is our own right? So it is not necessary that everyone should know whom we have voted for. Okay, so we have our own rights to put our vote for our favorite person. Okay, so it is done in the secret ballot. This is secret ballot. Okay, so no one can see to whom we are voting for. Okay. And then what happens at the polling booth? At the polling booth, the voters give their vote by pressing a button on the electronic voting machine. So how we are giving our votes? With the machine called electronic voting machine. Okay, and how it will record our vote? We have to press a button to record our vote in the electronic voting machine. Okay, and what will be there in this electronic voting machine? This machine shows the names of the people contesting the election and symbols of the political parties, right? So here we have names of the persons and here we have symbols of the political parties and here we have buttons, right? So if we want to vote to this person, then we have to press this button. If we need to vote to this person in the second row, then we have to press this button in the second row. Okay, like that, near to every person's name we have a button now. So we have to press that corresponding button to vote for that particular person. Okay, likewise we have to vote, and here we have the these are lights. If it shows green light, then we have voted successfully. Okay, so this is an example of electronic voting machine. So what will be there? It contains the names of the people conducting election and also the symbols of their political parties, and corresponding to that we have buttons also. Okay, so to whom we have to vote, we have to press their button, then our votes will be recorded. Okay, so these are the things we have learned already, right? So these are the things that comes under the role of Election Commission of India. Okay, so this maintaining this electronic voting machines, our maintaining our voter ID card, to maintain all this list, everything is whose responsibility? The Election Commission of India, right? So I hope that till now you have understood clearly. So in today's class, let us have a very small introduction on political parties. Okay, so now we are going to learn about political parties. So first we should know what are political parties, right? So what are political parties? It includes a group of people who have the same idea of ruling a country. Okay, say with me, what are political parties? Political party is a group of people. It has a group of people, okay, and all those people have the same idea of ruling a country. Okay, so for example, we can say in our country the two main political parties are BJP and Indian National Congress. Okay, so BJP will have their own plans for ruling a country and Congress will have their own plans of ruling a country. So persons who are agreeing with BJP's plans will join into BJP party, and the persons who are agreeing with Congress plans will join in this Indian National Congress. No? So the persons who has the same ideas of ruling a country will come together and they will form a political party. Okay. And then each and every political party will have a symbol. Okay, so symbol is very much essential for a political party. Okay, so they should decide their symbol and they have to say it to the Election Commission of India and they have to approve their symbol. Okay, then only they can use their symbol. Okay, so each and every political party, they should have a symbol. Why they should have a symbol? Because we have seen, right, in the EVM machine there will be only the name of the person contesting election and the symbol of the political party. There will be no name of the political party. So if we want to specify our political party in the EVM machine, then we should have a symbol, right? So symbol is one of the important thing of a political party. Okay, so a political party will always have a symbol, and in India we have so many political parties. Okay, there are many political parties, but as an example we have the two main political parties are Bharatiya Janata Party and Indian National Congress. Okay, so now we are under the rule of Bharatiya Janata Party, right? And see, some political parties were formed in India even before independence. Okay, so before the independence itself we have so many political parties. Okay, so after independence only we have the rights to select our own leaders, right? But before that itself there are some political parties. Okay, for example, this Indian National Congress is formed before our independence itself. Okay, so see, a political party will always have a symbol, and in India we have so many political parties. Some examples are Bharatiya Janata Party and Indian National Congress, and there are some parties which have been started before the independence itself. Now let us see some of the symbols of some political parties. Okay, see, we know the symbol, right? Bharatiya Janata Party is, the symbol of BJP is lotus, right? And then for Indian National Congress the symbol is hand. This is the symbol for Indian National Congress. And then see, this elephant is for Bahujan Samaj Party. And then see, this like flag symbol is for Nationalist Congress Party. Okay, and this is Indian National Congress and this is Nationalist Congress Party. And see, this is for Communist Party of India and this is Communist Party of India, Marxist, okay. And then at last we have All India Trinamool Congress, okay. This is the symbol for All India Trinamool Congress Party. So this has some of the political parties in India, okay, and these are their symbols. Just example for you, okay. And then constituency. We know, right, our India is a large country. So conducting elections here is very difficult, right? So this India is divided into small constituency for the sake of election. Okay, see, India is a large country. Therefore, it is divided into smaller geographical areas called constituencies. So constituency are a smaller region separated by the Election Commission of India. Okay, India is a large country, therefore it is divided into smaller geographical areas called constituency. And from each and every constituency we will elect one leader. Okay, so each constituency can elect one leader, and at last political parties choose members or candidates for each constituency to contest elections. Okay, so for each and every constituency one person will elect, right? So those persons will be elected by the political parties. Okay, political parties will decide who has to contest in a particular constituency. Okay, so these are the things about constituency. So in today's class we have learned newly about what are political parties and what are constituency alone, right? So do you remember those things? Shall we recall that once again? Yes, see, what is a political party? It includes a group of people who have the same idea of ruling a country. So people who are having a same idea of ruling a country come together to form what? Political party. So what are political party? It includes a group of people who have the same idea of ruling the country. And then symbols. So a political party will always have a symbol. So in India there are many political parties. Some examples are Bharatiya Janata Party and Indian National Congress. Okay, and some political parties were formed before our independence itself. Example, we can take Indian National Congress. Okay, it is formed before our independence itself. And these are some of the examples of political parties and their symbols, because for each and every political party symbol is very much important. Okay. And next we have learned about constituency, right? So what is a constituency? So India is a large country, therefore it is divided into smaller geographical areas called what? Constituencies. And each constituency can elect how much leader? One leader. So political parties choose members or candidates for each constituency to contest in elections. Okay, so these are the things we have learned in today's class, right? So now I hope that you got a small idea on what are political parties and what are constituencies, right? So in the next class we can see these political parties in more detail. Okay, so if you have any doubt in today's class, feel free to contact me. Okay, meet you in the next class. Thank you.